Introverts and extroverts. Different styles. Angela and Lisa are sisters who are 2 years apart in age. Angela likes to stay home and read or do projects in her room. She also enjoys writing stories and playing with her pet hamster. Her favorite outdoor activities involve being in nature, carefully observing plants and wildlife. Lisa would rather be with her friends than do anything else. She enjoys playing games with them, as well as attending birthday parties and other social gatherings. Adam, she often plays with her pet rabbit or makes friendship bracelets and other jewelry for her friends. She is very talkative and tries to get Angela to play with her, but Angela would rather be by herself. In some ways, Angela and Lisa are similar. They both like They're both artistically creative, and they both love animals. They're also different in fundamental ways. Angela is an introvert, and Lisa is an extrovert. Defining terms. Introvert and extrovert are terms that describe different ways and way to feel energized, interact with other people, and process information. The most important difference is social interaction tends to be exhausting to introverts and energizing for extroverts. The chart of the next page lists some traits of introverts and extroverts in more detail. As you read them, keep in mind that they're generalizations that may not apply to everyone. Most people are a mix of two types, which form a continuum. Many people are ambiverts, having identical qualities of both types. Ambiverts draw on different aspects to them, temperate in different situations. Scientists are studying possible differences in brain structures and brain chemistry between introverts and extroverts. Evidence suggests that this trait is present from birth rather than learned. A person's temperament or basic nature is different from personality, which is shaped by experiences, education, upbringing, and a wide variety of events can influence personality without affecting a person's temperament. The terms introvert and extrovert come from a work of Carl Jung, a Swiss physiologist who developed a theory of physical types that is widely used today. His theory includes contrasting pairs of qualities, of which extrovert is considered the most important. Those qualities have been incorporated from surveys such as Myers-Briggs Time Indicator (MBTI), which identifies 16 different combinations of qualities. Many people consider these kinds of profiles useful in understanding themselves. Strengths and challenges. It's important to keep in mind that neither introversion or extroversion is better or worse. Both styles are equally healthy and useful in certain circumstances. However, one style may be more highly regarded than the other. In particular culture, the United States, for example, introversion is more highly valued and is often viewed as normal. Americans sometimes see introverts as lacking in inferior, and introverts is there in this culture often feel pressure to be more like extroverts, more outgoing, assertive, and in, interesting in group activities. In contrast, introversion is more attempted and even encouraged in other countries such as Japan. Introverts and extroverts both have strengths and challenges. Again, the descriptions that follow are generalizations that don't fit every person. Introverts. Strength. Introverts tend to be independent, self-motivated people who work well alone. They solve problems creatively to think things through carefully. They are often well prepared to pay attention to detail. Challenges. Introverts can feel overwhelmed in some situations and settings. They don't like interruptions and are often distracted by background noise. They're not fond of being put on the spot and may have a hard time speaking up in class or at work. Their friends and family may not always understand their need in solitude. Extroverts. Strengths. Extroverts tend to make good first impressions and make friends easily. They are great at connecting with others and work well in groups. Challenges. Extroverts may have trouble working on their own. They may be bored easily and be very uncomfortable with boredom. They may also talk too much and not notice other people's need for space and quiet. Both introverts and extroverts may face challenges in their if their parents or other family members on the other side of the spectrum. It helps to communicate openly and respectfully about differences and find a balance that meets everyone's needs. Many modern classrooms in the United States are designed in ways that favor extroverts. This can range in pairs or small groups, as emphasis on group work. A lack of time and space for individual work, or public speaking requirements can all be challenging for introverted students. Some schools have changed their classrooms to address their issues. Solutions include creating a quiet zone, making sure students have some quiet time each day, and offering a quiet alternative to the typical recess. Teachers can also encourage students to learn how to work independently and in pairs as well as in groups. Myths and misconceptions. Both introverts and extroverts are misunderstood at times. The misconceptions about them are widespread. A common myth about introverts is that they're shy. In fact, although introversion and shyness can overlap, they're distinct and don't always go together. Shyness is nervousness or discomfort in social situations. Shy people often have strong desire to socialize but avoid because they're afraid to being rejected. Anxiety and fear about socializing are quite different from not having much interest in it, which is often true in introverts. Also, shy people aren't able to turn off their shyness at will, but introverts are quite able to act like extroverts when they want to. Another misconception about introverts is that they generally participate less in social events. they must be antisocial or insurance. They're neither. They just get overstimulated easily, so they seek out solitude, solitude to take care of themselves. A common misconception about extroverts is that life is easy for them and they're happier than introverts. However, extroverts often appear to be more comfortable than introverts in social situations. They have challenges like everyone else. Extroverts may be as uncomfortable as introverts in certain situations, but hide it better. Another myth is that extroverts are overbearing and bad listeners. In fact, extroverts love to connect with others, and can often have very effective ways to befriend people. Drawing them into conversation, however, their expressive way of reaching out can sometimes be overwhelming to introverts. A third extrovert myth is that they don't like to be alone. Often they do. They just need shorter periods of time to recharge, and they may not need the same kinds of solitude as introverts. Honor your temperament. Are you an introvert, extrovert, or ambivert? If you're not sure, review the chart on page 6. Does one side describe you much better than the other, or are you somewhere in the middle? It's good to know where you fit in on the introvert, ambivert, extrovert spectrum. Knowing yourself will help you have more confidence in who you are and understand your mods and preferences. This understanding can help you make choices that nourish you as well. It can also help you communicate with others so they can better respect your needs. For example, if you're an introvert, other people will be less likely to take your wish for solitude as criticism of them. If you're an extrovert, others will be more likely to understand your desire for social connection, even if they can't join you. Appreciating diversity. Introverts and extroverts have different skills and perspectives to offer, all of them which are valuable. Understanding that people have different temperaments is important for good communication, teamwork in families, schools, and workplaces because it fosters an environment that acceptance, a mutual respect. When we divide up tasks that need to be all done according to the temperament of those in the group, we make good use for different people's strengths. Remember Angela and Lisa? They're adults now. Angela is an artist and research assistant who works from home. Lisa is an event planner and receptionist in a busy medical office. For these sisters, understanding their own temperaments allows both of them to honor their natures, respect their differences, and make wise choices that help them lead satisfying lives.